Right now, hundreds of thousands of Americans are going through what experts call a gray divorce, a split that happens after age 50, after decades of marriage, and almost always at the worst possible time financially. Here's the number that should stop you cold. According to the Allianz Life 2025 Annual Retirement Study, 40% of Americans who went through a divorce said it derailed their retirement plans entirely, not set them back a little. Entirely. The gray divorce rate for adults over 65 has tripled since 1990, according to the National Center for Family and Marriage Research. 1 in 3 divorces in the United States today involve someone over 50. Because here is what nobody tells you when you're sitting across the table from your spouse's attorney. Your 401k cannot be split like a bank account. Your divorce decree alone does not move a single dollar of retirement money. And if you do this wrong, if your attorney uses the wrong language, if you take cash instead of rolling it over, or if you miss one critical window, you could hand the IRS tens of thousands of dollars you were never supposed to owe. You could lose benefits you spent 25 years earning, and you could walk away from a marriage with far less than what a judge actually awarded you. Every single one of those mistakes is completely avoidable if you know what to look for. Today, we're going to walk through exactly how the 401k split works when you're divorcing at 60. First, I'll explain the one legal document that controls everything and what happens if it's drafted wrong. Second, we'll cover the critical tax trap that quietly costs divorcing people thousands of dollars and how to avoid it entirely. And third, there's a Social Security benefit that most divorced people over 60 have no idea they qualify for, and it could mean hundreds of extra dollars every single month for the rest of your life. Stay until that last section because almost nobody explains this clearly. Section 1. The QDRO. The legal document that controls everything. The most important term in this entire conversation is called a QDRO, pronounced QDRO, and it stands for Qualified Domestic Relations Order. A QDRO is a specific federal court order that tells your retirement plan administrator exactly how to split your 401k or pension between you and your ex-spouse. Here's why this matters. Your 401k is governed by a federal law called ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act. Under ERISA, your retirement account is legally protected from almost anyone, including a divorcing spouse. A standard divorce decree signed by a judge does not override ERISA. It has no legal power over your 401k. This is the mistake that blindsides people constantly. The divorce is final. The decree says your ex gets 50% of the 401k, but unless someone submits a properly drafted QDRO to the plan administrator, the account doesn't move, not $1. According to a 2020 report by the U.S. Government Accountability Office, many divorced individuals never received their share of retirement benefits simply because a QDRO was never properly filed. Let me give you a real picture of how this plays out. Imagine a 62-year-old woman married for 27 years. Her husband had a 401k worth $420,000. She was awarded 50%. That's $210,000. The divorce was finalized, but the QDRO was filed 6 months late, after the husband had already retired and started taking distributions. Because the QDRO wasn't in place before those distributions began, her ability to claim that share became legally complicated. This happens more than you would believe. Here is what you need to know about the QDRO process. The QDRO must be drafted and submitted before the divorce is finalized, at minimum before the plan participant starts withdrawing funds or retires. The entire process typically takes between 60 and 120 days from drafting to final plan administrator approval. Once the plan administrator receives notice of a divorce proceeding, the participant spouse legally cannot move or liquidate the funds. That protection exists for you. Every plan also has its own specific QDRO requirements. A generic court order often gets rejected. Many plan administrators publish a model QDRO template. Your attorney should request it before drafting a single word. One more important distinction: IRAs are different. A traditional IRA or Roth IRA is not governed by ERISA. You don't need a QDRO to split an IRA. A simple divorce decree is enough, and the transfer is handled as a direct trustee-to-trustee transfer, tax-free, penalty-free. For any employer-sponsored plan, a 401k, 403b, or pension, you need a properly drafted QDRO. Without it, you have a paper promise and no mechanism to enforce it. If this is making sense so far, please hit the like button and let me know your thoughts or questions in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd love to help. Now, let's move on. Section 2. The tax trap, how people lose thousands without realizing it. Pay close attention here. This is where divorcing people at 60 quietly hand over money they should have kept. When you receive your share of a 401k through a QDRO, you have two choices. Choice A, roll it directly into your own IRA within 60 days. No taxes, no penalty. The money stays sheltered and keeps growing. Choice B, take a cash distribution. The money comes to you directly. If you take the cash, you owe ordinary income tax on every dollar. At 60, that could mean 22 to 24% of your distribution goes straight to the IRS. On a $200,000 settlement, that's $40,000 to $48,000 in taxes gone. Now, there is one powerful exception built into the QDRO rules under Section 72T2C of the Internal Revenue Code. Distributions made directly to an alternate payee, that's you, the non-employee spouse, through a properly executed QDRO are exempt from the normal 10% early withdrawal penalty, even if you are under age 59 and a half. So if you're 57 and need $30,000 immediately for a new apartment or legal fees, you can take that amount directly from the plan, avoid the 10% penalty, and owe only regular income tax on what you took, then roll the rest into your IRA. But here's the critical part. That penalty exemption only applies while the funds are still in the qualified plan. Once they are rolled into your IRA, the exemption disappears. Withdraw from the IRA before age 59 and a half, and the 10% penalty comes back. The strategy that protects you: take only what you truly need as a direct plan distribution first, before the rollover. Roll everything else through a direct trustee-to-trustee transfer, meaning the money never passes through your hands. If you let it come to you first, the plan is legally required to withhold 20% automatically. You then have just 60 days to replace that withheld amount out of your own pocket and deposit the full balance into the IRA, or the withheld portion becomes a taxable distribution. The IRS does not send you a warning. If you miss that 60-day window, you pay taxes on the full amount. There is one more trap specific to age 60 divorces. The year your divorce is finalized, you shift from married filing jointly to single. According to 2025 IRS tax brackets, the 22% bracket for single filers begins at $47,150 of taxable income, compared to $94,300 for married couples filing jointly. Your tax bracket can effectively double on the same income in the same year a large QDRO distribution lands. Plan your timing with a CPA, not just your divorce attorney. We've covered how the QDRO works and how to avoid the tax traps around it. But here's what most videos stop before telling you. If you were married for at least 10 years and you're over 60 right now, the Social Security Administration may owe you money every month for the rest of your life based on your ex-spouse's work record. And your ex-spouse cannot stop it, cannot reduce it, cannot even be notified you're claiming it. Stay with me, because this next section is the one that changes things for a lot of people. Section 3. The Social Security benefit nobody told you about. This is one of the most under-leveraged benefits available to divorced Americans over 60, and it's genuinely surprising how many people don't know it exists. Here are the rules, straight from the Social Security Administration. If you were married to your ex-spouse for at least 10 consecutive years, and you are currently unmarried, you may be eligible for a divorced spousal benefit up to 50% of your ex-spouse's full retirement age benefit. Your ex does not have to know. Your claim does not reduce their benefit by a single dollar. It does not affect their current spouse's benefits. The SSA does not notify them when you file. As of 2026, the average retired worker's Social Security benefit is approximately $2,071 per month. 50% of that is $1,035 per month. For someone who spent years raising children or working part-time with a modest benefit of their own, that difference over 20 years of retirement can exceed $200,000 in lifetime income. To qualify, you must be at least 62. Your ex must also be at least 62 and eligible for Social Security. They don't have to be collecting yet. You must have been divorced for at least 2 years unless your ex has already started collecting. And your own Social Security benefit must be lower than the divorced spousal amount. Social Security pays you whichever is higher, not both. Here is what most people miss about the timing. At your full retirement age, which is 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later, you receive the maximum divorced spousal benefit, 50% of your ex's full benefit. If you claim at 62, that benefit is permanently reduced to approximately 32.5% of your ex's benefit. But here's the key insight. Unlike your own retirement benefit, there is no bonus for waiting past FRA on the divorced spousal benefit. Your own benefit grows by approximately 8% per year for every year you delay past FRA up to age 70. The divorced spousal benefit does not grow past FRA. It caps at 50%. So if your own benefit would be significantly higher at 70, it may be worth claiming the divorced spousal benefit at 62 while letting your own grow, then switching at 70. That strategy is worth modeling with a financial planner. One more piece. If your ex-spouse passes away, your benefit can increase to a survivor benefit up to 100% of their full benefit, not 50%. You can claim a survivor benefit as early as age 60, and if you remarried after age 60, that does not disqualify you from survivor benefits on your ex's record. If you were married for 10 or more years and haven't checked this, go to ssa.gov, create a My Social Security account, pull your earnings record, and compare your projected benefit to 50% of your ex's projected benefit. This single check could change your monthly retirement income for the rest of your life. Now, let's talk about 3 mistakes that come up repeatedly in gray divorces. None of them are your fault. Nobody explains this clearly, but once you know them, you can protect yourself. Mistake 1. Forgetting old employer 401ks. During a long marriage, your spouse may have worked at 3 or 4 different jobs. A 2025 analysis from the Schechter Benefits Law Group noted that it's common for only the most obvious current 401k to be addressed, while old accounts from prior employers, which may have grown significantly, are completely overlooked. Each plan contributed to during the marriage could be marital property. Ask your attorney to subpoena plan statements from every employer your spouse worked for during the marriage. Mistake 2. Failing to update beneficiary designations. Under ERISA, 401k beneficiary designations override your will. They override your divorce decree. A 2026 analysis from 24/7 Wall Street described a specific case where a 401k balance went to an ex-spouse because the beneficiary form was never updated after the divorce. If your ex is still listed as the primary beneficiary on your 401k and you pass away, they may legally receive that balance, regardless of what your settlement says. Update every beneficiary designation, 401k, IRA, life insurance, the same week your divorce is finalized. Mistake 3. Cashing out the QDRO distribution. On a $150,000 distribution in the 22% federal bracket, you will owe approximately $33,000 in federal income taxes alone. Add state income tax, which runs 5 to 9% in many states, and you could lose $40,000 to $48,000 of that $150,000 in the year of distribution. If you need cash immediately, take only what is truly necessary as a direct partial distribution from the plan. Roll everything else into a rollover IRA. Don't let this be another video you watch and forget. Here's what I want you to do after watching. Number 1, confirm your attorney is drafting a QDRO and ask the plan administrator for their model QDRO template before any language is written. Number 2, open a rollover IRA at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab before your distribution arrives, so the transfer goes directly trustee to trustee. Number 3, go to ssa.gov and check whether your projected benefit or 50% of your ex's benefit is higher. Update every beneficiary designation the same week your divorce is final. Number 4, consult a CPA, not just your divorce attorney, about the tax year your distribution lands in, given your new single filing status. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Are you going through a gray divorce right now or helping someone close to you navigate this? What's the part that confuses you most? The QDRO, the taxes, or the Social Security piece? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll do my best to give you a more specific answer based on your situation. If this video helped you understand something your attorney or financial advisor hasn't clearly explained, please subscribe. And if you want to go deeper on how having a pension changes everything in retirement, that video is right here. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.